Hello and welcome. This practice is all about stretching and releasing tension. So you may have some physical tension hanging out in your body. Maybe you sit a lot during the week for work. Maybe there's some other reason you're holding tension in your body, or maybe it's more so a stress, maybe more of an emotional, mental tension that you feel like, it would be really nice to kind of release this in a physical way. So whatever tension it is that you are holding, I invite you to join me for this practice. Go ahead and grab, if you have a yoga bolster, grab it. If not, that's fine. A couple of firm pillows will do. And then also grab a couple of yoga blocks. Again, if you don't have blocks, just a couple of thicker books. We are going to use these props at the very end for our last shape. It's going to be a really nice, restorative, relaxing shape to just kind of let everything go. I'm going to set this off to the side just while we start practice. And then if you have a yoga mat, go ahead and get that out. If not, just find a comfortable place on the floor and we'll jump into it. So we're going to start in child's today. If you're on a mat, go ahead and start to walk yourself all the way to the back of the mat. An option to keep your knees together or bring them wider apart if you want a little bit more stretch in your hips. And then slowly start to sink your hips back to your heels. Let your arms come forward. And maybe sigh into this stretch here as you settle in. Go ahead and plant your forehead nice and firmly down on the ground if you haven't already. And try to let your arms really be heavy here. So try not to hold your chest up, your upper body up with your arms. Really try to allow yourself to be super heavy towards the floor here. And we're going to be here for a few rounds of breath, just settling in, checking in. Maybe you can use this time to check in with the physical tension in your body. So just kind of start to do a quick body scan here. Maybe you start at the top of your head and move all the way down into your neck, your shoulders, your arms. Maybe you let yourself be even a little bit heavier here. And then start to work your way all the way down your back, into your hips, your glutes, your legs, all the way until you reach your feet. Maybe you start to deepen your breath here just a little bit more. And start to notice the rise and fall of your chest, of your belly as you inhale and exhale here. Really try to let these be full body inhales. So what I mean by that is, can you picture that inhale going all the way through your body to the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes. And then on your exhale, let your body just get a little bit heavier, sink a little bit deeper. Take about 3 more rounds of breath just like that. Let it all go here. And then whenever you are ready, go ahead and start to come up into a tabletop here. So start to walk yourself until your wrists are about under your shoulders. If that's not comfortable, you can walk your wrists out a little bit further. And then your hips are about over your knees. And just start to gently sway your hips, rock your hips side to side. You can let your head and neck go here. Just a couple more rounds, starting to loosen up your hips. And then we're going to take a few cat-cows. So when you're ready, go ahead and come to a place of stillness. On an inhale, start to drop your belly. Maybe your gaze goes towards the sky. Try not to strain your neck here. Inhale, and then on your exhale, start to round your spine. Push the ground away from you. Bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, back to your cow. Drop your belly. Gaze maybe rises. Exhale, round your spine, drop your chin towards your chest. Take that for 3 more rounds. Inhaling to your cow and exhaling to your cat. Option to even take this up on fingertips. It just kind of changes the way it feels in your body a little bit. Just kind of notice what you need here. Awesome. And then I'm going to walk myself a little bit back. You can stay where you're at. On an inhale, keep everything as is, except start to move your chest forward through your arms. Start to drop your hips to the floor. We're coming into a cobra here. If you need to bend at your elbows, you can do that. Take one more round of breath. Inhale. On your exhale, start to push your hips all the way back to your heels, back to your child's. We're gonna make this a little bit of a flow here. So inhale, come to your tabletop, really round through your spine. And then once you reach your tabletop, bring your chest through, drop your hips to your cobra. Exhale, push your hips back to your child's. Take that again. Take this a few more rounds, going at your own pace. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Option to get your hips involved here if you want to take hip circles on the way forward and on the way back. You can do that. Maybe you take a figure 8 with your hips on the way forward and on the way back. If you do decide to take those hip circles, be sure to even it out, going one direction and then the other. Maybe about 2 more rounds wherever you're at. And then whenever you are ready, go ahead and push it back to your child's, and then start to walk your hands or slide your hands forward just enough so that your hips are now over your knees. And at any point, if you need a blanket under your knees, if it's not comfortable, you can totally put a blanket, any extra padding under there in case you need it. And option here to drop your chin to the floor or your forehead. Might be too much of a strain on your neck to drop your chin. So just making sure you're not straining your head or your neck here. And can you let yourself be really heavy? We're not going to be here for too much longer. You might feel some tension here in your shoulders. You may feel a lot of tension. If you need to come out of it, you're welcome to. Try to breathe through any tension that you feel here. Maybe you can let your chest drop a little bit more towards the floor. Take about 1 more round of breath. And then on your next inhale, keep everything as is, but start to push your chest forward. Drop your hips, drop your belly. Exhale when you land. We're coming into Sphinx here. So your forearms, your palms of your hands are really firmly planted on the floor beneath you. Tops of your feet, your legs are really also planted and rooted on the floor. And we're gonna hold here for a couple more rounds of breath. Really try to push the ground away from you. Really stretch your chest through your arms. Option to keep your head up or just have a neutral gaze down in front of you. Couple more rounds of breath here. And then when you're ready, option to stay here if you want to continue this stretch through your chest, or you can come down and create a little bit of a pillow for your head or for your chin. Wherever you land here, we're going to come into half frog. So start with your left leg. Go ahead and start to bend your left knee and try to get it to about a 90-degree angle here. And we're gonna hold for a couple more rounds of breath. Maybe your knee stays down. Maybe if you're feeling a little bit more flexible or loose, you can bring your knee up a little bit. Just notice what that stretch feels like here. Now when you're ready, we're gonna switch sides. So start to straighten that left leg. I'm gonna move over just a little bit to give myself some room. And then take your right leg this time, start to bend through that right knee. And hold. If you have any knee problems, hip problems, anything that just feels way too uncomfortable or painful, you can always just ditch any of these stretches. You can modify. Maybe you don't quite straighten your leg at a 90-degree. So just kind of work with what your body is giving you. That is totally okay. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath here. And then when you're ready, start to straighten your right leg back. I'm gonna walk myself back to center and then start to lower your chest all the way to the floor. Plant the palms of your hands next to your ribs. Inhale, come into a tabletop. Exhale, take a child's here just for a brief moment or two. Maybe find your breath again. And then when you're ready, start to walk your hands back towards your knees. I'm gonna move up a little bit. We're gonna come to sit in hero. So again, if this is not comfortable for you, you can always bring a blanket or a pillow between your seat and your heels, or a blanket underneath your knees here. Go ahead and come to sit really straight with your spine. And we're gonna take some shoulder rolls, some neck rolls. So let's start with our neck. Just inhale here. And then on an exhale, gently drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Hold. Continue to breathe. Option to close your eyes down here. And then on your next inhale, bring your head back up to center. Exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder and hold. And then we're gonna take some neck rolls. If this doesn't feel good, you can just take whatever variation, whatever neck stretches you want. But whenever you're ready, just start to slowly roll your head and neck to one side, maybe for a couple rounds. And then roll it to the other side, maybe for a couple rounds. Again, this is your practice, your time to stretch. Really tune in to your body here. Notice what it needs, and it may be completely different than what I'm cueing, and that's okay. Alrighty, when you're ready, go ahead and come to a place of stillness. On your next inhale, sweep your shoulders all the way towards your ears. Exhale your shoulders down your back. Let's take that a few more rounds. You are welcome to get your arms involved here if you really want to take some big arm circles along with this. You're more than welcome. And then when you're ready, you can reverse directions. Feel free to kind of rock your shoulders side to side, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Maybe any other upper body stretches that you feel like you need here. Alrighty, when you're ready, go ahead and make your way back to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, and we're gonna make our way up into a standing forward fold. So however you get there, go ahead and plant your feet really firmly on the floor. And when you arrive, option to just let your arms hang loosely. Maybe you grab your opposite elbows for ragdoll. An option to stay in stillness, or maybe you can rock side to side, finding some movement. Couple more rounds of breath wherever you're at. I invite you to really let your head and neck be heavy here. So allow the back of your neck to really loosen here. Just let your whole upper body be super, super heavy towards the earth. Couple more rounds. Really continue to breathe here. And then as you're ready, bend your knees and round your spine slowly. Start to come all the way up into your mountain, into your standing shape here. Really ground through your feet. Maybe tuck a couple more shoulder rolls. And then on an inhale, start to sweep your arms all the way up towards the sky. On your exhale, bring your hands, the palms of your hands together, and start to bend to the left here. So I know I'm probably cut off a little bit in frame. That's okay. Stay to the left here for maybe another breath or two. And then on your next inhale, straighten back up. Your arms are still lifted. Exhale, this time bend it to the right. Hold for another breath or two. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And then let your arms just naturally fall by your sides. Maybe start to shake out your arms here. Maybe shake out your legs. Just kind of notice what you need here. Alrighty. When you're ready, go ahead and start to come back down into your forward fold. And let's do 3 half lifts together. So inhale, halfway lift. Bring your gaze up in front of you, and then exhale, fold forward. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, fold. Last one here, inhale. Exhale to fold. And then when you're ready, plant your hands and drop your knees down. We're coming back into your tabletop. Maybe take a couple of more rocks side to side, and then we're going to move into a low crescent here. So inhale, maybe you bring your right leg up and back, and then on your exhale, start to bring your right knee, your right leg through. Plant your right foot between your hands, and then on your inhale, sweep your arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, maybe bring your hands to heart center. Option to keep your arms all the way lifted, or option to bring your hands on the top of your right leg. And as you're here, really let yourself sink into this stretch. You may feel this a lot in your hip flexors. It's a big stretch. If you feel any tension in your lower back that's uncomfortable, you can always straighten yourself up a little bit and tuck your pelvis in, and that'll release any lower back tension. So just be mindful, listen to your body here. And then go ahead and drop your fingertips to the mat or to the floor. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, start to push your hips back. Straighten your right knee as much as you can. Flex through your right foot. And then inhale, come forward. We're gonna take this as a flow a couple more times. Exhale, push it back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, push it back. 2 more times like that. Inhale. Exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. Go ahead and come back forward. Plant your hands and then put your right leg back into your tabletop. We're just going to take that all to the other side. So go ahead and inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring your left knee and leg through. Plant your foot. Make sure you have a solid footing here. And then inhale, option to reach your arms up to the sky and hold, or hands to heart center, or hands on your left leg here. And same thing here. We're gonna hold and breathe for a few more rounds of breath. Option to close your eyes down here, especially if you really start to feel some tension through your hips. Try to release that tension with each exhale. Maybe try to drop your shoulders a little bit further away from your ears so you're not scrunching them up. And then when you're ready, plant your fingertips. Inhale, try to straighten your spine. Exhale, send your hips back. Straighten your left leg as much as possible. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to push it back. Go ahead and take this a few more rounds, moving at the pace of your own breath here. And just as a reminder, it does not matter how flexible you are, how strong you are. All that matters is that you're feeling the stretch, you're releasing tension, whether it be physical or emotional. Let's go ahead and take one more to even everything out. And then when you're ready, come back forward, plant your hands. We're gonna meet back in tabletop. We are now gonna take what we call a toe stretch. So we're not gonna be here for very long, but we're gonna be here just long enough to feel a stretch. So go ahead and start to tuck your toes under, and option to stay here. So you can start to push your hips back just a little, and if this is enough for you, if you're already feeling tension, you can just hang out here. Or option to take the full variation, which is sitting your hips back and then coming into a sort of hero's shape here with your heels or your seat towards your heels. And we're gonna be here for about 5 more rounds of breath. So maybe, again, you close your eyes. Plant your hands on the tops of your legs. Try to let go of the tops of your legs here. Really focusing that tension release around your feet, around your toes. Just a couple more rounds of breath, depending on where you're at here. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. And then when you are ready, we are going to come into a seat. If you feel like your feet are really tight here, go ahead and maybe shake your feet out. Move your ankles around. Just kind of notice what you need here before you move into your seat. Take your time. And then if you are ready, go ahead and meet me in a seat. If you're on your mat, go ahead and come to the middle of your mat. And let's see, we're gonna start with your left leg out to the side. So we're gonna take a couple of side bends here. So your left leg is out to the left, and then your right knee is bent. Maybe your right foot is flush against your thigh, maybe not. Just kind of take whatever is doable for you here. And then go ahead and inhale, straighten your spine. Sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, start to bend to the left. Land your left hand somewhere on your left leg, or maybe even it feels good to land it on the floor, on the inside of your leg. Your right arm is up and overhead. And then on your next inhale, keep your legs as is. Inhale, come to center, plant your right hand. Exhale, left arm comes up and overhead. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend it to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, take it to the right. Last one to the left, inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the left. Awesome. Go ahead and come back to center. Straighten your right leg this time, and then bend your left knee. Bring your left foot in towards your right leg, and then same deal here. So inhale to straighten your spine, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, land your right hand on your right leg, or anywhere that feels best for your stretch here. Try to let go of your glutes, your upper legs. And on your next inhale, come to center, your arms rise. Exhale, plant your left hand, your right arm sweeps up and overhead. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the right. Last one here, inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the left. And then inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the right. Awesome, go ahead and come back to center. We're going to move into a quick forward, seated forward fold here, and then we'll make our way onto our backs. So go ahead and straighten your legs in front of you. For some people, it feels a lot more supportive to sit on top of a blanket or a bolster or a pillow, just to kind of give you a little bit more room to fold over. We won't be here for too long. So just kind of play with it, see what you need here. Start to flex through your feet. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, start to fold forward. You may just go this much. You may not go far at all, and that's okay. Just kind of fold until you feel that stretch in the backs of your legs. Take about 3 more rounds of breath wherever you're at here. Alrighty, when you're ready, slowly inhale, come all the way up to center, and exhale. Alrighty, we're gonna move into our final shape. So if you have your props, go ahead and grab them. I have my yoga bolster here and my blocks. You may have pillows and books, that's okay too. Go ahead and place your bolster if you're on a mat. It's going to be long side, going with your mat here, and you're gonna place it behind you. And then start to just kind of notice where you're seated here, and make sure your bolster is flush up against your lower back here. And then I'm gonna place these blocks to the side. You may or may not use them, but just in case, you can have them there. And to start, I'm gonna straighten my legs out in front of me as I'm gonna scoot forward here, as I start to sit all the way back on my bolster. So if you have a bolster or your pillows or even a stack of blankets, this is a really great stretch and opener for your chest, for your shoulders. So option to keep your your legs straight out in front of you. Second option, you can bend through your knees and plant your feet firmly on the ground. If you take this option, I really recommend you walk your feet out a little bit wider so that your knees come in towards each other so you don't feel like you're holding your legs up. So this is your second option. Last option, which is what I'm going to take, is butterfly legs. So you will bring the bottoms of your feet together and you will let your knees, I'm gonna reposition myself just a little bit here. You will let your knees fall to the side. And the reason I have my blocks is because I like to have a little bit of support for my knees. You definitely don't have to use blocks or books. You can just let your knees fall naturally to the side. So just kind of feel into what feels best here. And then once you arrive, let everything go. Maybe do one last check-in with yourself here. Maybe do a quick body scan. You can start with the very top of your head, start to work your way down between your eyebrows, loosening that space even just a little bit more, working your way all the way down to your jaw. Maybe you move your jaw around a little bit. Maybe you release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Move all the way into your shoulders. Can you let them be really heavy towards the earth? Same with your arms, your hands, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Let them completely go here. Notice your seat. Your seat is really grounded towards the earth. Your legs are supported in whatever position you have chosen for them. You're not holding them up, holding tension in any way here. And I invite you to bring your awareness back up into your belly, up into your chest. Notice the opening in your chest and your heart space. Maybe there's a little bit of a lightness there. Now let's take 3 final rounds of breath together as we close out. Before we do, I invite you, if you have time, I invite you to stay here for as long as you can or need. Really let your body just hang out, chill out, maybe even just for a couple more minutes if that's possible. All right, let's go ahead and take 3 rounds of breath together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, let it go. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Last one, biggest inhale you've taken all day. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Again, if you can or need to stay here for longer, I invite you to do so. I am going to wrap up my end of practice with you there. I hope that you were able to release some tension wherever it was sitting in your body. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was beneficial for you, and I will see you next time.